This is Sport Night Amplified with Andile, powered by SABC Sport. Exclusive to Metro FM. Game over.
It's 9 after the hour, 6 on the mighty Metro FM. Welcome to it. It's going to be an interesting one, but what you've just heard right there, top of the hour, our kickoff is what we call it. That is Stan Matthews, CEO of SuperSport United, speaking on Thapelo Maseko, who's recently made a move from SuperSport to Sundowns. And he says, I told him it's not a good move. I told him he's not going to get as much game time there. It's an actually longer clip, but if you want to hear the full thing, because the second part of it had me going, yo. We're going to play that tomorrow when the guys come in. It's Podcast Friday, so the guys are going to be in tomorrow. We'll play the full part of that. But also, there's what Kaiser Jr. said yesterday in and around the Nabi issue. There's that clip as well. I mean, if you're on social media yesterday, there's no ways you missed it. We'll play that, but only tomorrow. We'll play that tomorrow when the guys are in studio so that we're able to discuss the content thereof. It's 10 after the hour 6. Welcome to it. This is Sports Night Amplified with Andile on the mighty Metro FM. I am Andile Ncube. Today's Throwback Thursday, and it's going to be an interesting one because on Thursdays, we go off the grid, don't we? We do things that we otherwise would have never done. I mean, gee whiz, we had Mpho Makhoba's dad here the one time, speaking about horses. What a conversation it was. Eh? Queen Elizabeth. Little Lady Diana, as he called her. You know, when Lady Diana said to him, please hold on to this baby quickly, I want to do something. And that baby happens to be now Prince Charles. No, not Prince Charles, rather Prince William. Interesting conversations of Stienki, who was here, who was here last, 2 weeks ago. And a lovely conversation about the first black man to have a horse run in the July. So it's interesting and different stories on a Thursday. We take a break from the convention of current affairs and we just salute and look back at amazing South African stories. Today is no different. It's 11 after the hour 6. I'll still be taking, somebody said on Twitter, hey Andile man, that competition is still on. Yes, it's still on. We're on board with our friends at Telkom. And we're giving away hampers, tickets, and something extra as well to any and everybody that we pick that's going to be part of the package. All you have to do is send us a song. I'll play you a song to find out exactly how.
Oh baby suyenza lento whoa my baby ngiyasifela ngawe sabarabara sebaraba hi my
yo
hello no.
So that's it. It's things like that. You've got to compose the gweet of your own, a song similar to what you hear at football matches, at rugby matches, at netball matches, at hockey matches when you motivate. We used to call it a war cry, man. Do you remember? But it can be a war cry with a bit of a soul because that's what that was, wasn't it? Whatever war cry means to you, a motivational song to get our Proteas going. That was one example. We got that yesterday. Please keep sending them in, and there's great prizes to be won from our friends out at Telkom. The number to send your voice notes to is simply 060-552-7303. It's 15 after the hour 6 on the mighty Metro FM. Remember that the Women's World Cup is currently on. SABC Sport giving you a game every day. Let's take a look at yesterday's games. Of course, Japan and Costa Rica. That ended 2-0. Spain knocking Zambia out. There are 10 goals conceded in this tournament, 5-0. Canada doing what we expected Canada to do, even against Nigeria. They beat the Republic of Ireland by 2-1. Speaking of Nigeria, they played today. What a match. 3-2 is how it ended, that one there. And at some point, I thought there was going to be a comeback from the home team there, Australia, but it wasn't to be. Nigeria breaking the hearts of many Australians. The Kangaroo Nation weren't feeling great after that game, but we're proud of Africa's first 3 points, and it comes from Nigeria, who've now amassed 4 points in their group. Portugal beating Vietnam by 2-0, condemning them as well. United States, an unlikely draw that. Netherlands should walk away from that feeling very proud of that 1-1 draw there from that game against the USA. When you take a look at the table in the groups at the moment and what they look like in Group A, it's still all to play for. Switzerland, New Zealand, Philippines, and Norway. The lead there, Switzerland with 4 points. Group B, though, is where I'm excited. Nigeria are leading that group with 4 points. They've got more goals, of course. Canada with 4 points as well. Australia with 3 points. They've got it all to do in that last match. And the Republic of Ireland are out of the tournament. Group C, Spain, Japan, Costa Rica, and Zambia. Zambia out of the tournament, Costa Rica out of the tournament, Spain and Japan have gone through to the next round. In Group D, that's where you find Denmark, England, China, and Haiti, and it's still all to play for in that group there, of course, with only one game having been played. Let me see, there's another group with 2 matches. There should be another one. There it is. United States, Netherlands, Portugal, and Vietnam, still all to play for in that group there. Vietnam, though, are knocked out, but between the United States, Netherlands, and Portugal, 2 of those nations still stand a chance to go through. Now, Banyana, they're in action tomorrow morning. But tomorrow morning is live at 2 a.m. is kickoff. 1:30, 1:30 a.m. is the build-up. 1:30 a.m. So fanele kulale ngo-12 ngo-1 uvuke uxubhe angazi uyaxubha uzobukela igame or wenzani. Awuxubhi. Uzonukela abanyana umlomo man so xubha. Shange mouthwash ke. And then at 1:30 we build up to the match. Vusiwe Ncube is going to be leading that match there at 2 a.m. guys. 2 a.m. It's a huge game. Banyana have to win against Argentina. 3 points against Argentina. 2 a.m. is when that kickoff is. So please do make sure that you support Banyana. And then in the same breath, today's Thursday, right? Today, of course, so the opening ceremony might be tomorrow, but today, the Women's World Cup opened up in netball. South Africa are officially hosting right now as we speak. We are the hosts. It started. We've spoken to the Netball South Africa president. We've spoken to absolutely everybody. Remember as well, the SABC is going to be giving you these games too. So there's a lot to look forward to. So please do make sure that you are in support of all things as we look forward to the Netball World Cup as well. Those matches on SABC Sport, Banyana matches on SABC Sport. So let's all get on. And you heard as well, right? When the season begins, the EPL back on SABC Sport. So we've got to be all in support. Today, though, 19 after the hour 6, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back on the other side, it's our story for the day. It's an amazing one. It's a great one. And we love putting a spotlight on great achievers whom otherwise would not be recognized. 22 after the hour 6. Welcome to it. And hey man, Thursdays are a little bit different here. We take a break from the rush of current affairs, the rush of Dead Royal AM, really understand the letter, is the lawyer in it, versus what was Kaiser Jr. really saying and what is the implication of it, etc., etc. Bella Mpho Makhoba. Yo, that's a name, huh? Did you hear that? Bella Mpho Makhoba. She's with me in studio. Born on the 17th of July 1977, Kokasiaka, ko Atteridgeville, Pitori. She is with us in studio. But why is she here? Who is she, you asking yourself? Well, trust me when I say this. It is a fascinating story of achievement that you and I perhaps would have never known of if it wasn't for Throwback Thursday. So, buckle up. Mabitsa makana? Bobitsa mang Bella?
Bampitsa Mpho.
Bobitsa Mpho? Ana motho bitsa Bella?
Ba teng ba bampitsa Bella. Ko sekolong ne bampitsa Bella, ko hae bampitsa Mpho, mama bampitsa Nathi.
Yo, that's a lot of names. Which school did you go to, Atteridgeville?
I went to JJ for primary, and then Mboweni, and then Hofmeyr High.
Oh, okay. Nana go Batumbel.
Ko Batumbel.
Primary go Batumbel.
Stone throw away.
Yeah. Ko tla senyam Maseko.
Hey, no se stoot.
Ke stoot goed.
Ke sure.
It's 23 after the hour 6. Bella, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, I've been reading up about you, and we've known here about you, and we've looked at all that you've gone on to do. And I had to think back to my life when I saw and read up about who you are. Because growing up in Atteridgeville, where you and I both grew up, I don't remember ever seeing a tennis match. I don't remember ever seeing a tennis racket. I don't remember seeing anybody that says to me, I play tennis. Yet here you are with all that you've achieved. Absolutely amazing. And you're sitting there and you're saying, hey, Who is this Andile? What has she achieved? Well, she's the first female official in Africa to receive International Tennis Federation White Badge certification. Also, the fourth South African woman to achieve an international chief umpire qualification. Asintonyani.
Yeah. Razama.
No, Sozama, you've done well. No. Congratulations on everything that you've achieved so far.
Thanks a lot.
But let's get into the story, because it's such a fascinating story that brings you to where you are now. Growing up, when did you first know of tennis? When did you first see and understand tennis?
Andile, like any other little girl, Negrato Lebella TV, and then I would watch, my favorite player was Steffi Graf. I liked the way that she played, the way that she was down to earth.
Hey, and she was noisy, man.
Hey, I know. All the girls are noisy. So I fell in love with tennis then. Funny enough, I lived more Sloho Street, which is just opposite the sports ground.
Okay.
So the grounds at Bolekwa, as you all know, they used to be locked all the time. So you need access. The procedure style municipality, getting access, it was too much. I never had a racket. So my brothers made a tennis racket for me out of the box ladi tomatoes. So they broke it down, used some plastics to use it as a handle to hold the racket, and then we used to play Mostrati.
Box
tamati, that old box tamati.
Hey man, so you take that and then likenye checkers as a handle,
and then a speaker between the smaller part and the longer part the box. And then
I would freak out if racket speaker.
But if you're passionate about playing it, you'll do anything. So
how old are you at this point?
I was still go Mboweni. I was around about 11 years old.
11 years old. Yeah. Tennis racket, speaker.
Speaker. So we played Mostrateng barefooted, and then from there, the love grew. Family like abahudile batsanuka softball.
And I'm sure not the tennis la chisco pibil.
Ele sinang le maboya ele ya letwadi.
Yona straight.
So it never bothered us then, because of we just wanted to see ourselves playing. So we continued playing. Komboweni, they introduced tennis for the first time. I went and joined the school team, but it was difficult because of in the school, no some rules that you scratch a racket, you pay $50 or $60.
If you scratch a racket?
For a scratch, if you scratch a racket, just
but you can't not scratch a racket if you're playing.
You cannot just play or scratch a racket at all. So it was too much. My family.
So how is scratch it?
$60.
What year is this?
That's years back.
Is it 80s?
Yeah.
Hey, 60 randa the 80s.
60 randa nele chelet. So family like didn't have that money.
They didn't have the 60 rand just in case you scratched the racket.
I mean, they couldn't even afford a tennis shoe for me, let alone any shoe.
Leona tennis racket.
So I had to stop for a year. And then my sister, my late sister Rose, she actually abia cash in and then she bought me my first ever racket, which was a Wilson racket. Still have that racket in my room. I started playing, and the love of tennis just grew from there. Went into some provincial teams. It was interesting.
I mean, you're a girl from locationing, locationing. So who are you playing against? Are you playing against Atteridgeville, or are you getting opportunities to show your talent outside of Atteridgeville?
We never got the opportunity to show off talent whatsoever, because tennis, as we all know, it's an expensive sporting code.
Is it? I've always thought, besides the racket, what else are you buying?
All right, you need to buy tennis shoes. The cheapest tennis shoes you can get, they range around about $850, which is the cheapest. And it gives you rice per size. So you know you're going to pay a lot.
What size?
About chajaga size.
Naga sharp almost.
When I go to So when we started, like there's a lot of to enter a tournament. Entry fee, you look at the entry level tournament, it's $450 per child. And then you also need to pay membership fee, which is $330 a year. And then when you start playing the international tournament, you need to pay entry, membership, international level. And also there's a entry fee, which is around about 1.7. Just one tournament. So when I grew up, we only played local tournaments with our coaches, with some areas for Mamelodi, for Soshanguve. Those are the areas where Hamaskrale, we've been playing against those players. But you don't get real competition up until maybe you selected to be in a team. We were once selected into the provincial team. You get to play against players from Cape Town, KZN. But again, the level, it's not the level where you want to be. So it was a bit difficult back then, Hotsanuka, in any of the top tournaments that you would wish to play at.
It's exactly 30 after the hour 6. We're going to take a break. When we come back, how does she go from being a budding tennis player in Atteridgeville to what we're now talking about? You know, when we celebrate her and we say she's the first on the continent, the first in Africa to receive International Tennis Federation White Badge, and the fourth South African woman to achieve an international chief umpire qualification. What happened between that and the struggle that brought her here? Mighty Metro FM is Throwback Thursday. We're listening to the story of Bella. And she's going to tell us how she became Mpho Makhoba. Of course, many that know her as that from Atteridgeville, the first female official in Africa to receive International Tennis Federation White Badge. How did it get there? But before that, we asked you to send us Igwijo. You know, war cries, songs that you love. They're coming in so thick and fast. So many of you, our friends at Telkom, said, hey, let's get together and let's reward some people and send these amazing songs that they're singing to the Protea Spa ladies, of course, as they begin their World Cup campaign. They start tomorrow with their first match. So we got a couple of them. Tomorrow, we would have chosen as the team. We would have chosen Valerie, Biso, myself, Malcolm. We'll choose two that we're going to play for you tomorrow, and you will call in to choose which one you think is best, and that person will win. I'll tell you exactly in a moment what they're going to win, but have a listen to let's play maybe two there. Play one there, Malcolm.
Wee, 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 wee. Hey, wee, 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 wee. Wee, 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 wee.
Okay, you can pause that one. We'll listen to the full one off the
Nakanata tole ki musimani tole ki musima nakanata tole nakana.
Play another one.
Hello, Metro, Maralo, Cape Town.
Maralo,
cellular, hayuwen, cellular, hayuwen, cellular, hayuwen, cellular.
And Kosho, last one, Malcolm. I'm enjoying this too much. Our friends at Telkom coming on board, of course, as they sponsor the Proteas.
From Soshanguve Block VV.
Tiamo, come on.
I'm gonna try my Ikucho again. Hiyos dudla sami samafuta.
No, we've got Valerie. She's right. We've got Tiamo. Play one more. We've got Tiamo. We've heard Tiamo.
Tandiwe kusasa hamba tandiwe sizafonelana tandiwe kusasa ngiyahamba tandiwe sizafonelana hamba we iyo hamba we iyo.
Thank you very much, Malcolm. Thank you very much. Keep sending them in. Tomorrow we'll let you know which two we've chosen, and of course you guys are calling on 086 0002160, and the best of five, whoever gets the most out of 5 callers will be the winner. I'll tell you before the show ends exactly what it is that we're going to be giving away to whoever it is that sends the best war cry. I mean, some of them are nice. I'm just not sure if they war cry. How's that? Will you be motivated?
Hey,
It's 18:36 on the Mighty Metro FM. 2 a.m. Tomorrow morning. 2 a.m. Banyana Banyana game kicks off. Vusiwe Ncube for SABC Sport will be bringing you that game as the anchor live at 1:30. 30 minutes of build-up. I'm pretty sure you'll get Dr. Kumalo or Gloria Brown, or even there'll definitely be former captain of Banyana Banyana, Janine van Wyk, who's going to be there. So do make sure that you do catch it. We're listening in now to an amazing story that we followed, that we want to give Mpho Makhoba her dues. She's the TSA Development Manager, first woman in Africa to have International Tennis Federation White Badge certification. She also has a silver qualification. Mpho, so you play tennis. How far did you get as a player?
I played till I get to provincial levels. And then due to ill health, I had to stop playing.
What is ill health when you say ill health?
I developed asthma. I developed some heart challenges and also some epilepsy. So I couldn't participate as much as I wanted to participate.
So there goes your dream.
There goes my dream down the drain.
Because you're fitting, you're all sorts of things.
Yes. So one of my coaches back in the club took us to go and watch an exhibition match at Ducks. And Parami and some of the top players were playing there. Funny enough, I was interested in the line umpires and the chair umpires there. That's where my love for umpiring started. I liked the way that they were standing, the way that they were walking, the way that they were calling, the way that they were interacting with the players. And I fell in love with officiating there and then. And I said, you know what, this is something that I actually want to do. I asked around after the match and they pointed me to the right direction. And lucky for me, there was a course a couple of weeks from there that I went and attended my level 1 course, and I passed my level 1 course. Obviously got baptized by fire after that. They threw me into a deep end. My first match was one of our recently Davis Cup players. I had to do a solo chair without line umpires. Tough match. But, you tell yourself one thing, if somebody can do it, why can't you do it? It's a men's match. It's going to be tough, but you bite the bullet and you do the match. So that was my first love. From there, I was also selected a couple of weeks from there to do my level 2, pass my level 2. Then the managers from Tennis South Africa recommended me to go and do the ITF White Badge course. Went and did my ITF White Badge course. Damn, I've never been in such a tough class ever in my life. You arrive late, you fail. You ask questions, come again, you fail. It was the most toughest class ever. Passed it with flying colors. Got invited to come and do Wimbledon the very same year as a line umpire.
When you say Wimbledon, go England.
Go England.
Heaven.
The lawn.
Mogonaling Center Court, the lawn.
The lawn.
Is this your first international at this point?
That was my first international and also my first flight, which was my biggest fear.
Your first flight, eh?
Yebo.
How old are you at this point?
I was still go high school. I was doing my last years at high school.
So you're 18?
Yes.
18, 19?
17, 18
17,
years.
yeah.
So I had to fly out, the first one in the family, to be on a flight.
Hey man, I can imagine go airport, get everybody.
And it doesn't help on so when you the youngest you believe them as you grow up. So it was scary, but yeah, today
tell me about that experience. You're walking onto this flight now.
Yes. The first one, it's when I was walking into the building. Go up and down, checking in. Now I put checking in. It's like go busing na.
Check in go busy.
Check in go intercape. Check in what's bag class. So you think you're gonna do the same,
Hey, nigga, I'm translate the ground. I go check in. Okay, so then check in and then.
So now I check in, but the bag, the passport. Now the hard part is you have to leave your family now, or you're on the other side.
Only one.
We one in Nagoyo. Now that's where the scary part started. The questions comes to your mind. What if get to the wrong terminal? What if it's another flighting wrong? What if you feel like you know, when it's your first experience, a lot of things comes to mind.
Don't say so flight wrong.
It's possible. The first time you say to anything can happen because you don't know what to expect. So went in there, I remember holding on to the deer chair. Hey, flight is started, and I can tell you, I was as scared as hell. Up until we can take off our seatbelts. Now I was relaxed. Hey, again, I remember I screamed from my chair. Because for some reason, flight. So when it popped out.
Hold on. 6:43 on the Mighty Metro FM. There's money to be given away. There's nice hampers to be given away from my friends at Telkom. Tomorrow, I'll be giving all of that to someone. I'll be giving them some money. I'll be giving away hampers as well as some tickets, courtesy of our friends at Telkom. All I need you to do is send a motivational gwitch or a song, a war cry. However it is, it could be a ballad, it could be a piano remix, you know, anything really, whatever it is that you think fit, send it to us here. We'll choose two to go into the final tomorrow, and the team, Malcolm, myself, Valerie, Biso, will then choose the two, and then you'll call in the best of 5 to win the money as well, of course, as the hamper. But let's take a look at, or rather listen at some of the ones that you've already sent.
From Cape to Cairo, oh Morocco to Madagascar, I want Azania, so itata freedom charter,
Okay, I'm not supposed to sing along. I'm not supposed to influence. Stop it, Malcolm. Malcolm, stop it. Malcolm, play it for 2 more seconds. 2 more seconds. No, don't do it, Malcolm. No. Okay, one more.
Maprotiana abawaziyo abazange bawabone.
Hey.
Maprotias love abawaziyo abazange babo ibanyana le ebayaziyo abazange babo ibanyana le esiyazi.
No. I'll let it happen. 2 seconds. Okay, let me go. Hanya. No, the other one. The first, yeah. Okay, stop it. I'm being biased. Marlena, we would lead.
Yatama. I
know. Let's not be biased. Let's not influence votes. We're still telling the story, of course, of Mpho. Mpho is a phenomenal achiever from Kukasiaka, Kwa Trijvili, Go Pilindaba, Go Black Rocco, Dagos Tloho. She has achieved the most amazing feat in a sport that most black South Africans don't ever get an opportunity to even be a part of. She's gone and become the TSA Development Manager, first woman in Africa to have an International Tennis Federation White Badge certification. She's telling us the very story of she's a high school girl. She's just been told that forget about your dream. You're not going to be able to, your sicknesses and your ailments rather are not going to allow you to play the sport. But you say to yourself, if I can't play, I'll empire. You're now on your first flight. Lenda go England. One of the biggest airports I've ever been to. Go Heathrow.
True. And one of the biggest. Now, Lenda, then, you're waiting. You don't know how to pick up Agema. They never told you that there will be people.
But who was not at the time? Because nana go ukile pheli kitana go bathumela sikhona simnati wena
sontoro no se polishanyana ne sentse se zama sentse se namela di peanut butter ngilo bona di nuts tsele di bana le di ham mar no zama wasutla mo tsontoro
manje semangesini
mo tlhalosa le ka matso tsontoro ba utlo ro bolela mara sign language ya thusa.
She works here. She's one of our beloveds here. She's literally one of the pillars of this place at Metro FM. A newsreader here as well says, Linda, I don't ever remember checking in go besin. So and then we all dream of it. Like I travel for sport. I've been to France, go Paris during the Tour de France, because I won a Tour de France. I've been to England during a final of the Champions League, won a game of Champions League, the World Cup and so forth. One of those things, more bucket list, Yaka, is to be in England during Wimbledon, to go watch a centre court match. You've lived that dream. Talk to me about then, though. How featla and you get told, this is Wimbledon.
I mean, when I arrived there, it was wow. You see it motivating. When you see it live, it's something else. Don't let people fool you, Babotore. Wimbledon is like any other tournament you've been to. That is the Grand Slam. You arrive there, the center court, it's huge. I did my first match. Yes, got a little bit embarrassed. I guess my age compared to age at the officials overseas.
Yeah, because they're a lot older.
Yes, so
they're a lot more mature.
Yes, so I was doing a line and standing next to one of the ball kid. The ball kid looked like my uncle. He was tall with beard and all that. Now, there was a ball rolling next to me, and then the chair umpire looked at me and said, ball girl, please pick up the ball.
No.
And yet I'm not a ball kid.
That's not you being embarrassed.
It's not.
Though.
So now
I can imagine you'd feel embarrassed, but it's not for you to be embarrassed. He should be, number one, for judging you in that way.
So he asked, why don't you picking up the balls? When no, I can't pick up the balls. He says, no, I'm ordering you to pick up the balls.
But don't you guys dress differently?
We dress differently. We do dress differently.
So you're dressed differently from the ball, because there used to be ball boys and boy girls, but now they're just ball kids.
They're just ball kids,
is the new term.
Yes.
You can see that you're different to them. You're dressed differently. You're dressed like the other lines.
Correct. So I just, for the sake of the smoothness of the match, so I just picked up the ball, but I gave it to the ball kid. And then after the match, he called me and he said to me, why are you being so rude? So I asked, why am I being rude? He said, no, I asked you to pick up the ball. You pick up the ball after I protest, and then after that you give it to a line umpire. I said, no, but I'm not a ball kid. I'm a line umpire. He had to call me to the office and speak to the chief of umpires who was running chiefing at that moment and ask them, who is this child? And they said, no, she's one of the officials from South Africa. And then that's when he came and apologized and said, you actually do look like a ball kid. To me, I didn't realize that you're one of the umpires.
But also, Mpho, let's be very honest here. There aren't a lot of black people that do what you do. That court has not seen a black person do what you do.
Correct.
So for him, sitting there looking at an African, a woman, a black person do that job, his mind could not fathom that is somebody who's a peer to me. That is somebody oling taka in what we do as colleagues.
True. I mean, these are some of the challenges that our kids are facing out there recently in the events. They look at them and they don't see their competitors. They see something else. So it did feel a little bit out of place being there and then being undermined in that way. No, you cannot be one of the officials in this court.
But so, boy, was he wrong. Boy, was he wrong. How much of that inspired you and buoyed you, pushed you even further to be where you are? Don't answer that. Let's take a quick break.
Food Lovers Market's famous Winter Carnival is back. Save on delicious rump or sirloin steak at just $99.99 per kilo. Buy 1 kg Food Lovers Extra Lean Beef Mince at $89.99 each. Get bulk pork loin chops at $69.99 per kilo. And enjoy tasty beef oxtail at $79.99 per kilo. Valid till this Sunday, only at Food Lovers Market. Winter Carnival now on.
Hakili ketane kabona ketsa msomni kabona shalin center kabona lalema kabona nepo champions kabona nepo hakili ketane kabona nepo champions.
Stand tall, sing out loud, and do things big for netball with Telkom. Recharge with 30 Rand or more, dial star 180 hash to buy a bundle. Telkom, premium partner of the Netball World Cup.
You can't talk about South African music history without mentioning Brown Dash.
People got to hear of Brown Dash on Kukanga Madolo by Mzegezebe.
That was the first time in a Kwaito perspective they said it's fine.
SABC1 remembers Brown Dash on Certified Classics this Sunday at 9 p.m. SABC1.
It's 1853 on the Mighty Metro FM. If you just joined us, a fascinating story, a beautiful story of Mpho Makhoba, who is the development manager, the TSA, Tennis South Africa Development Manager, first woman in Africa to have International Tennis Federation White Badge certification. But it didn't just come. It came with a lot. But hey, remember that go Banyana Banyana. We are proud of you. Go live the impossible in Australia and New Zealand. We are behind you all the way. South Africa, our support gives Banyana Banyana energy. Simply share your message to the team via WhatsApp on 072-603-7325 or USSD by dialing *120*676# and you will be entered into a daily draw to win airtime and data. T's and C's apply. Visit www.sasol.com for more information. We have a voice note that I want you to hear. But firstly, you were saying you get undermined, you get ridiculed, you get sized up as what the world does when they see a black woman, moreover so a black person. How much of that did you take from there with you, leaving England, leaving London? How much of that stayed with you and how much of that has been with you through your career?
Andile, I think it actually motivated me to want to do more and, to break the stereotype that is out there. Most of the people think officiating it's actually made for male. It's not. And, you need to take something positive from all the negativities that have been thrown at you and carry it with you. It motivated me more to want to do more. When I go from tournament to tournament, we do get challenges. And I always tell myself, if I manage to overcome the challenge that I faced in Wimbledon, nothing else can actually break me down.
I have a voice note I want you to hear. Let's play this one very quickly. Are you listening? Have a listen to this.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, the listeners. Mpho Makhoba, Mao. People who didn't know understand why I call you Mao, because you're the mother of the nation when it comes to tennis itself. I can say a lot about you, but today I want to be focused and talk about the role you played in my life. As you do to others. For me, my sister, you gave me a tool that changed my life. When you instructed the officiating course level 1, and it was all about people with disabilities, and I was part of that group. And with your support, I'm still the only one out of that group that made it, to the highest level. Today, I'm grateful to be called an international white badge champion.
You're crying.
Yeah.
Who is that?
That's Patrick Selepe.
Mm-hmm.
When I first did my officiating course for disabilities, he was in my class. And that was the first ever disabled officiating course that we had. And he was one of those that came out flying, and he is one of the greatest. And he is the only disabled official that we have internationally, and the first one ever. So it's an achievement. I'm happy for him for being there, and I'm happy to have played a role in his achievement to be there.
He's very proud of you. He's truly grateful to you. But it's not just him. He's just a representation of so many people that when we said we want to have you here, said, Andile, please have her, because she's an amazing woman. It would never happen, Mpho, on a platform like this on Metro FM at 6 o'clock there's somebody like you, they said to us when we started doing this. And we said, it's people like that need to be on. Because people need to know about you. Today, flights are nothing to you. You know airports of this world better than most. Yet, when you were born, nobody in your family had ever even thought about getting on a flight. You're a front runner.
Thanks a lot, Andile.
And we appreciate you. And thank you. I know you thought and you think no one sees you or recognizes or sees it. And I know you thought that.
Definitely. You know, most of the things that I do, I don't do them to get recognition. I actually do them to try and change the world, you know, to make a world a better place. What I do for the clubs in Hammanskraal, what I do for everyone, it's just to try and give them a little bit of what I didn't have when I was growing up.
All I wanted to say to you today, and this whole conversation, was just me, and by me, I mean Mapara, everybody that listens to the show, everybody that's on the show, Valerie, who worked so hard to get you here, to say we see you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, you'll never forget her name. I certainly won't.